I have here with me today the HP Pavilion dv4t-5100 series. So this is the new DV4 for 2012. I just wanted to give a quick overview of this laptop and talk about its features. First of all, you'll notice that the design on this has some red embedded into it. This is called red carmine. So if you're on hp.com, when you configure this laptop, you have a few color options. Black is the default and red is one of the color options. And it's kind of a cool look. It's different from the DV6 in that it's not a brushed metal finish. It's kind of a glossy plastic finish. But the coloring is nice and it carries through to the lid. And you'll see as you kind of change angles, the colors change a bit too. So as you'll notice there, the lights are reflecting on the screen so that or on the back of the lid rather, so that it is glossy, but if you don't have a light right above you, then you're just going to see the red lines there. I'd just like to discuss some of the performance features this dv4t-5100 series has. It comes with up to a Core i7 processor, so that's a quad-core processor you can get in there, the latest Intel Ivy Bridge generation, and you also can get NVIDIA G650 graphics with 2 gigabytes of RAM, so that's quite a powerful graphics card. So you can essentially have a 14-inch computer here that's able to play the latest games, medium to high settings. And I've just started running 3D Mark Vantage here, so you can kind of get an idea for some of the frame rates that you'll get. The screen, you'll notice, is a 1366 by 768 resolution screen. It is glossy finish, which means that you can see my reflection in there, or if you happen to have a strong lighting source behind you, such as a light, you'll see that. Overall, the screen is average. Its viewing angles are somewhat limited. If I tilt the screen back, you'll notice that the colors will distort, and it actually doesn't tilt back a whole lot. The brightness is just adequate in this screen. It's not overly bright. It could be better. And you'll notice once it tilts down, it's kind of hard to see the colors there. So overall, the screen is just kind of average. If you have it angled so it's perpendicular to your eyes, then the colors are okay. But there are no screen upgrade options, such as maybe a 1600 by 900, so you're stuck with this 1366 by 768 resolution. However, for gaming, that means your frame rate's going to be pretty high. If we zoom in here, again, this is 3D Mark Vantage. You're getting about around 25 to 30 as far as frame rates there, sometimes above, depending on the action level of the screen. As far as other components on this, you can get up to 1 terabyte of storage. The one I have in here is 1 terabyte, 7200 RPM hard drive, and you can have up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. There is no option to configure an SSD on hp.com, although you could put it in aftermarket to help overall boot performance. Let's just take a tour of the ports. On the left side here, you have a VGA monitor out, HDMI port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, a headphone, and a microphone jack. And you'll also notice and probably hear the vent here on the left side. Now, as I mentioned, I've got 3D Mark running right now, so that fan's going to be kicking up to try and blow some of the hot air out that's getting generated. On the front side, as far as ports, you have an SD card reader. It's a little hard to see, but it's under the front side there. Over on the right side, we also have a couple of ports. There's another USB 3.0 port, and then there's an Ethernet port that's covered with a plastic cover here. You just take that off to access it. And then there's the power jack here. And then we have a Blu-ray disc optical drive here. The keyboard on this DV4T is chiclet style. It's a full-size keyboard. And the top row of keys, rather than operating as function keys, are media keys. So for instance, if I wanted to turn the brightness of the screen down, I could simply push this button here, and I'll just go ahead and do that so you see how it works in action. Pretty easy to do, and then I'll brighten it up by hitting the F3 button. The touchpad is a multi-gesture touchpad, and you can turn it on and off simply by tapping in the top left corner here. And then you have two dedicated mouse buttons, and it has kind of got a glossy surface so you can slide easily back and forth over it. Overall, it's a little small, but it's easy to use, and I find it responsive, so it's a pretty good touchpad.